At the very tip of Africa lies iThemba Laboratory for accelerator-based science, the largest accelerator facility in the Southern Hemisphere and the only cyclotron facility on the African continent. iThemba Labs offers unique research capabilities to local and international researchers. The Cape Town facility also produces radiopharmaceuticals for the diagnosis and treatment of cancer. iThemba Labs is where science comes to life, where real people are using science in various ways to impact the lives of every South African. Visit their Facebook page, iThemba Labs Cape, or email director@tlabs.ac.za.
And we are back here in Helderberg FM in studio, and we are joined by Mr. Wayne Kearns and Audrey, except Audrey is not going to say anything. She's shaking her head. She says, don't mention me. It's okay, Audrey. We welcome everyone in the studio. But Mr. Wayne Kearns, how are you doing?
Hi, Johan. I'm doing well, thank you. And thank you for having us here in your studio.
Oh, I love the iThemba Labs talks. It's always fun, advancing knowledge, transforming lives, inspiring nations. You are the senior mechanical technologist, so technical competence as the driver of scientific research. So tell us a bit, what are some of the mechanical systems that keep you up at night?
Well, Johan, what keeps me up at night? Currently, it was a few weeks ago, was the vacuum systems at iThemba Labs. I was always worried that our vacuum system would develop a leak. And with a leak, it always comes that dreaded phone call in the middle of the night. But now, fortunately to our maintenance routine and the great maintenance team that we have there and our routine maintenance, things are in good shape, so I haven't been getting many of those phone calls.
Fantastic. I mean, research, training and development at iThemba Labs relies on availability of accelerated beams of projectiles. But to have very small things move very fast, we have to ensure that there's nothing or close to nothing in their way. So Mr. Wayne Kearns is going to talk to us also about how these vacuums are established and maintained. So I've heard that sound doesn't travel in a vacuum, but apparently the particles that manure accelerate and Tulani steer, those you missed out. Those chats we had before. So Wayne, how do you create empty space?
Well, Johan, contrary to popular belief, I don't suck at the air with a straw. Fortunately, we use technology and engineering to create a vacuum. But to create a vacuum, you also need to know what is a vacuum. A vacuum is basically just a negative pressure, basically empty space. So to create that, for any of your listeners out there, you can use basically a vacuum cleaner. If you're at home, I hope people use vacuum cleaners here in the Helderberg to clean their houses. So a vacuum cleaner is basically just a very simple vacuum pump. So if you, while you're busy cleaning your house, take your hand and put it over the nozzle, that suction you feel is actually your vacuum pressure. Now at iThemba Labs, we do the same thing, but on a greater and grander scale. So we have very big industrial vacuum cleaners, or more correctly, a vacuum pump. And the types of pumps that we have there is our rotary vane pumps, scroll pumps, turbo pumps, cryogenic pumps, and that's all coupled together with a elaborate range of valves, meters, gauge heads, and computer control systems. And to give you an idea of how powerful those pumps are, as we're sitting here in your studio, the air pressure that's on us is about 101.3 kilopascals, basically atmospheric pressure. Now, the vacuum pressure that we create at iThemba Labs can be in the region of 1 times 10 to the minus 7. So, if you think about it, you think about 1.000000000. That's the amount of air molecules that's still in the system. So when we say there's nothing there, we mean there's very close to nothing, which makes me at iThemba Labs a little bit of a butt of a joke, because they say, worry about nothing.
Well, I must say, I was trying to make the equation there, and in my mind, there must be a vacuum, because I also had nothing. So I can well imagine that load shedding must be giving you guys problems. So how do you nuclear physicists and scientists handle this?
Well, that is another issue that's been keeping us up at night. you've like many other South Africans out there that also experiencing load shedding. But for us at iThemba Labs, one must remember that we are a 24-hour operation. And all our systems are interlinked. So you got our vacuum systems, our compressed air systems, and water systems, and all that. So to switch it off is not as simple. I mean, we wish we had a big red button. We could just switch everything off and then switch everything on again. But because these systems are so interlinked and are dependent on each other, we have to switch them off in sequences. Fortunately, at iThemba Labs, we have a UPS system which carries us a little bit, and we have two generators as well that help us during those periods. But they also, you can't keep them on all the time. Another thing that we have a curtailment agreement with Eskom. So during our lower levels of load shedding, we are able to stay on, but we've got to reduce our load on the grid. But for the higher levels, we have to actually switch off because our demand is too high. So that is where the stress comes from. Or often it's we have to make a decision. So somebody's always watching the news, watching Eskom, seeing what's happening, and we have to make a decision when you can switch off and switch on. So it's been a challenge.
Yeah,
it's been a challenge.
Well, at least you guys still have your Wi-Fi going, so that's great. Technology has been a major disruptor in terms of the jobs that people do, but do you think there's still a need for technically skilled personnel out there?
Yeah, definitely yes. We always need technical skills in industry. There's always going to be a need to build, fix, engineer, design different things. And I mean, you think of a simple example. A car that you had 40 years ago. All you needed was a simple box of tools and you were able to service it on a Saturday afternoon or fix it on the side of the road. Wasn't a problem. The modern car, if you look under the bonnet, there's a whole lot of wires, there's a whole lot of pipes, there's a whole lot of sensors. And you actually need somebody special or specialist trained to actually work on the current motor car. And with the advent of hybrid cars and even electric cars coming into our market, even more skilled people are needed more. So definitely, yes, we definitely need a lot of skilled people in South Africa.
And in order to do a job like this, I guess it's not just any guy who they hand the controls over to in terms of safety precautions and everything you have to go through. I guess there must be a lot of hoops you had to go through to get to this level of scientific research and all the risk that goes with it. And of course, all the investment that goes into it.
True. Well, besides your basic education that you need, I'm not referring to high school and then obviously tertiary, whether it's university or technicon or colleges. At iThemba Labs, when you go through the ranks, so to speak, as you're working there, you develop new skills, you get trained up to do certain things and get specialized. So yes, most definitely.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mr. Wayne Kearns. It was lovely having you guys here. It's always fun to talk to iThemba Labs. That's all we have time for today, and I hope we talk to you again because it's a very interesting part. Is there anything you want to leave us with?
Let load shedding end, please.
Can't you guys go do something about it? You're the smartest guys in South Africa. I feel like you should just take iThemba Labs and say, go, please sort it out. But thank you so much for coming and have a beautiful day.